It must be baseball season on the Famicom, because 3 games get released in the space of a week. And first up for us is the 4th entry in the Best Play Pro Yakyuu series. These games stood out in the giant list of Famicom baseball games by being statistics-heavy strategy games rather than action-based. I don't think there's a single real difference between Best Play Pro Yakyuu 2, which was released only 8 months before this, and Best Play Pro Yakyuu 90. As far as I can tell, this is another change some stats and release it again situation. The big selling point was that they used real players instead of pseudonyms for this one. Best Play Pro Yakyuu comes out of the tradition of baseball board games, where you'd have stats for characters on cards and use those to determine the outcomes of pitches. In Best Play Pro Yakyuu 90, you can set up a league which involves naming teams and determining who's controlling them, set up all of the teams on the league, which involves you looking through a whole bunch of stats for every single player, and then you can set up the team schedules, look at the league stats, and finally, watch games play out. If you're doing a league and the next game is between 2 teams that aren't controlled by a player, then you watch it very slowly generate the results of the game. If one of the teams is controlled by the player, that's where you step in. You choose the lineup, you choose the pitcher, and then you start watching. There are a very small number of commands that you can provide during the game to affect its outcome. By holding down B and pressing in a direction, you give instructions to the current batter or the pitcher. So you could tell them to bunt, or to walk someone, or to do a squeeze play. If you hit the A button, that brings up a menu, and here you can change your defensive options, or tell runners if you want them to steal more bases. That's also where you go to change out your pitcher or bring in a designated hitter. But 95% of the time, you're just going to be watching the game play out. Obviously, this kind of thing doesn't excite me, but to demonstrate that I do give these things fair shakes, I think I had the best moment in any of these Famicom baseball games while playing Best Play Pro Yakyuu 90. After a long game with very few hits, I was up by 2 runs at the top of the 9th. Just a few pitches away from winning the game, so I brought in a fresh pitcher, and they immediately gave up a home run, and then 2 more runs over the next 3 batters. Bringing in the worst closer in baseball history cost me the game. And unfortunately, the game isn't enough of a management sim that I could fire that guy immediately. So I understand how people could get into these games. And in Japan, the Best Play Pro Yakyuu series does have a following. The game's found an audience. There's one more Best Play Pro Yakyuu game on the Famicom, and I believe it is yet another time where they updated the stats and didn't change anything. So you're going to see this exact same game one more time.